And we are outside. This thing is out in the front yard. There goes the neighborhood. It looks horrible, but I'm not gonna complain. We got a good workplace. I can anchor onto the back of the Jeep to pull. I can anchor onto the front of the Ram to pull. So we got a good thing going. We are done for the evening. We got the front end of this thing pretty much straightened out. We're not hanging low anymore. This side is looking the same, looking pretty good. I got the radiator and all the stuff bolted back down. And yeah, everything's kind of lined up, and I like the way the front end is fitting. I think we're good here. I was playing with the hood a little bit. I think both the hinges are actually bent over, so my hood doesn't quite line up very good. Now that I've kind of tweaked it a little bit more, it's binding really hard on the back when I open it, but not too worried about that for now. I did spray it down with water. That's why it's all wet. It's not leaking. I kind of degreased everything because of all the transmission fluid that had leaked on this side. I kind of washed it all down and degreased it, so it's looking a lot better. I can work on it without getting all greasy. But we're making progress. I like it. Threw my new radiator cap on there. I had that little reservoir cap I had to buy new. It was missing, but everything else works great. Radiator itself seems to be lining up good. The fan shroud seems to be where it needs to be now. I'm happy. This is pretty nice. So I'm done with the front end for now until I start putting fenders back on, but I'm not going to put fenders back on until I start working on this windshield frame, just so I have access to this B pillar that This side seems okay, but I'm pretty sure this B-pillar is actually pushed in, so I might have to like really pull this whole section out a little bit as I pull this A-pillar out with it on the windshield. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be interesting, so we'll see what we can do, but I'm happy with the way it is right now. It actually, it looks straighter. It drives good. I can drive it around if I really wanted to. I just have no headlights and no windshield, and yeah, it's just a mess. Oh, and the driver's seat's broken apparently, so I should probably figure out how to do something different with the seats on this. Maybe do something cool with the seats. I don't know. I got ideas for headliner, so maybe I'll do something different with the seats also. Just kind of really spruce it up, make it interesting, make it fun. And if you noticed, I got the doors and ratchet straps shut just so that it doesn't look too ghetto sitting in my driveway. I'm just gonna leave it here overnight. It's not that big a deal. It's between two vehicles and the back end looks straight, so it's not that big a deal. Making progress. This is what I'm gonna work on tonight or this evening here once I close up the garage so I can make some noise. This is the fender off the other side. I beat the other side straight already. That was the big project. This one's not so bad. This one just hit the front. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of curved inward. And then, yeah, it's got a pretty gnarly smash here. And you can see the edge is just flattened out. This is actually supposed to be flat. So we'll work that out just like we did on the other one. At least this one, I only have to do this upper corner. That other one, I had to work the entire edge. So this one will be a lot easier, I think, to work with. And it won't look quite as haggard, but I'm not really worried about it, honestly. It's going to get beat up anyways, so I don't care. Look, a Cherokee! You want to see an exceptionally worse Cherokee? I've been working on this thing for about an hour, tearing things apart on it, and I figured I better make some video before I forget. So I've been stripping out the interior. I got the headliner out, got that little factory sound bar out. That's the color it used to be. That's what was covered, nice light gray. And now it's all filthy, nasty. And then this rear sound bar doesn't even have the headliner material on it anymore. That's all out, so now I can at least see the inside of the roof. We pulled the front cowl piece off, some other random bits and pieces. And this is what we're working with now. See, that roof is chooched. So you can see we are in a bare vehicle. Well, I still got carpet and seats and stuff. I don't know, I stripped off all the plastics around everything. It's just kind of a mess right now. You can really see how, like, this is the mount for the visor. That should be horizontal, not vertical. You can really see the damage that happened to this thing. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. We got to get this thing straightened out here, so I'm just stripping things down so I have access to all this. I can't even get this trim piece out because it kind of goes down below alongside the dash there, and it's pinched in there so tight that it's not coming out unless I decide to break it. We got the back end stripped as well. Lots of stuff everywhere. I did get the hatch open. The actual latch part of the hatch is completely ripped off, which is why it wouldn't open, so I was able to pop the inside panel off and reach in there and manipulate it. Not sure how the hatch broke like that, but it does seem like maybe the top of the roof might be actually pinched in on the back end as well. So I might be doing a lot of pulling on this thing, but I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter that much. You can see how high the roof is above that support. So yeah, it's gonna be a mess, but as long as I can get a windshield in this thing, that's all I really care about. I'm not gonna run full doors on it, maybe half doors or just tube doors. Taillights are destroyed. This one's all busted up. This one is completely broken loose. Not much hanging on. I think it's got one bolt left. We pulled off this cowl piece here so I can expose all that. And I'm actually starting to now scrape the rubber off the windshield, and I'll wire brush it, get it all cleaned up, and at least I can see things better, plus get all this broken glass off of there and stuff. So that's just kind of how my Saturday is going. We're slowly stripping this thing down and getting it ready to try and get a windshield in it here, hopefully soon. So we actually want to drive this thing. So that's kind of the thing with this. It's got to be a quick project. I got to get it running so I can use it. Quick update on the XJ. We're just gonna do something about these battery cables here. So this negative cable is super short to the point where I can barely reach it across. And then the positive side is strung up too to where it's actually holding the battery up. It's way too short. So I'm just gonna disconnect everything. I'm gonna route these cables over the top of the motor mount instead of underneath, and that should give me plenty of slack. Just little updates like that we're going through and making this thing a little more usable. And we are fixed on the battery issue. So we got nice long cables here. I redid this cable, made it longer. This cable here has plenty of length now. We just routed it up over the top instead of below, so it gives me some slack. So, cool, one more thing done. We're gonna do some sketchy stuff. Check this out. Just brought our new windshield out here. I'm gonna test fit it because I've been tugging and pulling on this thing for like an hour. I just want to see how close we're getting. I'm sure there's gonna be some more adjustment needed, but you can see we are getting a lot closer. We actually beat that whole corner out. That was completely caved in. We got some shape to the window again. This side had that funky pop-up. That's beat back down. I think the top still needs to be pushed down, and then I don't think we have to go any wider. It's probably gonna spread out a little bit, but I don't know. I was trying to pull this whole thing out a little bit, so I don't know. I've been giving it hell, but it's a lot of work. So I'm at the point where I want to make sure, I want to test fit it, just get the windshield in there now, and then we'll work on that top corner piece to try and get some of that out also. Just gotta be careful on this new windshield. This thing's nice. It's gonna be the nicest thing on this Jeep. Alright, so passenger side actually has some decent shape. It could probably work if we need it to. Kind of fits, but that's a problem. This side is so far out. I don't know what to do with this right now. I don't know if I can get a windshield in this, honestly. We gotta keep playing with it. This is bad. This is real bad. We are getting closer. It's almost good. This side is still decent. I actually pulled the entire roof over to kind of even it up. I just need to beat these corners in on both sides, but we actually got pretty even all the way across the top, which is a bonus. I did roughly pull all this out here with just a pry bar. I got a big old hole there. This metal is so rusty, it's super thin, but you can see we're actually fitting down in the corner. My biggest problem now is this gap. See, I'm sitting super high on this corner. I'm hoping it's pivoting off the middle, so if I push the middle down, it'll allow it to sit in there better, hopefully. Well, we got it just about as straight as it's gonna get. Had a couple friends come over, so it's good to have a couple extra hands, and we really knocked out some stuff. Plus, they went kind of crazy and got all my doors working again, so I was like, cool. Nothing looks great, but everything opens and closes now at least. So cool. You can see we just beat the crap out of this windshield frame trying to get a windshield to sit right in here. The biggest problem is something going on in this corner. Like this corner's pushed down or in, or something is really out of whack. So we did our best to really push things in and out. And we got it pretty good. I think it's gonna work with a lot of extra glue. Tomorrow I need to go through and clean all this, wire wheel it all. I need to try and patch these big holes I got going on, and then maybe I'll work on that a little bit too and make it a little better. But yep, we are just about there. Quick update, we're moving really fast. Somehow, I don't know if you can see there, my windshield cracked. I don't know what happened. I just picked it up for the first time this morning to start working on it again and noticed it was cracked. So boo. But in the meantime, we are working on this. I actually cut this whole corner out because it's all rusty, and I have a new patch panel that we're fitting in there now. I just put some paint behind it to let it kind of dry up there. So yeah, we're gonna start working this in here. It's gonna look better than it was, but yeah, it's getting interesting. We got our patches done, so I did a small one there. I haven't ground it down yet. That was just a small hole. This was the big one here. It's all tacked in all the way around. You can tell it does not look perfect, but it's gonna need a little beating on to straighten her out. Yeah, it's all tacked in. I just need to grind it all down, and it'll be good to go. Next update, we got those welds all grinded down. Everything is ready. I just wiped it all down with alcohol, so this thing is ready for some paint. Did forget to mention I hit the entire channel with a wire wheel all the way around. Take all the old paint, rust, and everything out of there. So you can see that's where one patch panel was. It's not pretty, but it is a quick job, so as long as it's functional, I'm cool. Here's the other side. That is the second patch, which actually looks decent here. My problem is it's real high. It's like, so when the windshield's in, it's gonna have a huge gap, but it doesn't matter. There's gonna be weird gaps all over this thing, especially here where the windshield's actually sitting above there. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna use a lot of sealant in this corner because this corner is just not coming out like I need. Yeah, we're almost there, so I'm just gonna mask off the interior here real quick, throw some primer, and then probably some generic white paint over it, and then it'll pretty much be ready for a windshield if I go pick up another one. Next Jeep XJ update. I took the front seat apart because it was completely destroyed. The framework on this thing was in pieces after I took it out. I noticed it when I was sitting in it. The whole like back corner just like fell to the ground practically. It was basically held together by the foam. So I pulled all the foam off, and this is what we got. These are the two base plates. This is supposed to be welded between them, but it's completely broken. So I don't know if that happened in the accident or if it's just kind of old fatigue. But yeah, and it's also supposed to be welded up in the front there. So we're just gonna weld it back together and then throw it back in there, just so we have a good seat. Seat frame is all welded back into one piece. I added a bunch of extra welds, but yeah, you can see, you can't see nothing because I'm not even looking at it. Yeah, we had to do a lot of welds. There was a lot of extra little cracks and miscellaneous spots. And so, yeah, we did that, but plus we added some welds to make it just a little bit stronger than it was before. But it's back in one piece. Right now I'm actually hosing down the front seats. This thing has mismatched seats. The driver's side appears to be the original seat, at least that matches the rear seat. For some reason the passenger side is different. I don't know why. For whatever reason, it's got a different seat. It actually looks shaped different, and you know, the color and the fabric, everything's a little different on it. But anyways, we're just hosing everything down, then I'll spray some soap on them. And I've done these ones. I haven't touched that one yet. You can probably see how nasty it is right now. You can see that one's pretty gross. A lot of stuff spilled in that seat over time, so we'll get that one hosed down. Hopefully it'll look as clean as these ones. Moving to the backyard, we got these seats cleaned up. These things are looking good. They're still damp, still wet, drying off. Man, these things are nice now. This is the nasty seat here. See, all that staining is gone. It's just a little dark right now. It's real wet still. Yeah, this actually looks really good. Now I don't feel so nasty sitting in this thing. Plus it's gonna take care of some smells that are in there. I need to get the carpet out of it still. Just throw that away, and then we'll just run no carpet. I did find another 96 cents in that seat, so we're doing all right. We're making money. Update time. This is the old cracked windshield. I think you can see the crack going right along there. And we got another one. Jeez. 2 windshields. So I put the molding on this one. Everything's cleaned up, scuffed, and ready to go. So I'm just going to test fit this one more time with the molding, and then we'll put the urethane down and glue this thing in. This windshield is in. This side came out real good, so that's where it should. It's right down in the corner. The only problem I had is the frame itself is a little narrow right now, because after I put the molding on, I didn't end up with any extra room, so this side fit super tight. And this side is actually sitting kind of tall. It's kind of on the edge, but this side is the one that kind of doesn't go down anyways. It's got a big old gap there anyways, but we got it. I'm pretty confident that it's sealed all the way around. I don't think it'll leak. So you can see the amount of goop we got in the corners here all the way up. It was squeezing out, so I got pretty good squeeze out on everything. I just kind of stuffed a little more in there at the end there just to be careful. You can see like we're squeezing out there. We're kind of got a little squeeze out all the way around, so I think we're pretty good with this. I'm pretty happy. You can see I can move it down and it kind of bulges out a little. It's in there. I'm hot. It's tiring. It's about as much as I'm going to be able to do this weekend because I got to head out of town, but yeah, I'm happy. You can see our repair spot. It kind of went high on the repair itself. Yeah, I don't know. I might even cut off the molding all the way around. I don't know yet. Whatever, it's working. Cool, I'm happy, I'm content. It's in, we got a windshield. Things one step closer to being used. Might look like it on camera, but we got plastic back installed. We got our plastics installed in the back end here. Back end's pretty much back together. We're not putting the headliner back in until we cage it, and then we might try and piece one back in. But we're working on getting our plastics in the front there, working our way up. It's working out pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It looks really clean in here. I came through and I wiped everything down with cleaner just to get the previous owner's ick off of everything. It was kind of grungy underneath the carpets and in the corners and stuff, so we wiped everything down. We've got some serious rust in that passenger floorboard, but I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it's kind of coming back together. It'll have a semi-finished look with at least the plastics all reinstalled. It just won't have carpet. Yeah, it's coming together. We're almost there. We're getting real close. Right now I'm just kind of working on this front corner. I already got that side all done. Everything's fitting back together real good. I did just put the seal back on my door. Everything over here on this whole corner is in real rough shape. We're getting there. We're kind of working on this plastic, and yeah, we got the seal in, so now we can kind of come in and put the plastics in, line holes up, screw everything in, and then this lower corner should be done. Then after that, probably throw the center console in, maybe clean up this dash and try and get some pieces to fit a little better. There's still something tweaked inside of the dash there, so hopefully we can make that fit a little bit better. And then throw the seats in. I do have to clean the rear seat up still. I want to scrub that down like I did the fronts. Yeah, we can get the front seats in at least. Those are ready to go. So yeah, we're almost there. We have a Cherokee. We are pretty much all back together. I'm gonna take it for a drive here in a few, just to feel things out. I can actually drive it around a little bit more now, so yeah, it's probably hard to tell. It's kind of dark. Just have to work on this door a little bit more. Got it adjusted, and it's actually closing really good. We have seats back in, no carpet, no headliner. Back seat is in, looking good. We have a rear view mirror with tape on it. I got visors back up. I tried to straighten the visor out. It was completely bent. So yeah, you can see there's cracks and things out of place all over in this Jeep, but it should be functional. So I think we're gonna take it for a little drive here. Go around the block, around town, something. Let's see how she feels. Never actually driven it with windows and windshield and... Oh yeah, it's nice and loud in here now. A little rough running issue we gotta figure out here eventually. Apparently the key buzzer doesn't turn off. Where's my door still open? Well, that's annoying. I don't know why the key buzzer stays on while it's running. That doesn't really make much sense to me. Oh, screw it. Let's go for a drive. Oh, there it goes. Oh, something with the shifter. Something is out of whack with the shifter, like really bad. Oh. Yeah, even my light's kind of acting up weird, so it's like the maybe the door switch is a little funky. Let's go for a little drive, see how everything feels. Put it in drive and the buzz comes back. Well, I guess my hood is still open too. Well, it works. It drives. Feels like it needs an alignment or something. It's a little dirty. Transmission is shifting, that's good. Not too bad. Feels like an old beat up Jeep. Everything seems to be working fairly normal. Brakes work good. Transmission seems to be working good. Engine is working. Still got something weird with the buzzer, obviously, and the shifter. It's like the shifter has an adjustment that's out of whack. Like it doesn't really catch the gears quite right, so it might have something to do with that. My hood is open, so I don't know, maybe, I don't think this has an underhood switch for that. I don't think that's why the buzzer's on, but... Feels alright in the bumps. Not too horrible. So you go to overdrive. Even the gauges work. It's kind of surprising. Speedometer, tach, oil, temp, fuel, volts, everything's working. It's interesting. Woo. Fan works. Just blew a bunch of crap out of it. I'll play with that in a little bit. Brakes are a little catchy to one side or the other. Could be a suspension issue or steering, who knows. Feels like there's an alignment issue or something's loose up front a little bit. Not horrible, but hey, it works good. I'm happy with it right now. It's probably the furthest it's driven since its accident. Seems to be working pretty good. Something stinks. Windows roll down. Put this thing back in the driveway and check things over a little bit. Parking brake doesn't work. God, that buzzing is annoying. I corrected that buzzer. That was the door switch. Since I had adjusted the door and moved it out a little bit, it wasn't contacting the door switch hard enough. So kind of adjusted that switch a little bit, got it working better. So now the buzzing is gone. My lights are all working inside when you close the door. I did go through and I reattached the bottoms of my front fenders because those are still loose. I kind of had to rig up some stuff on that and the antenna since I lost the nut that threads down and holds the base on. So yeah, let's kind of show you real quick. So now we're just doing all sorts of dumb things. Like I got washers on here and the antenna itself is what's holding the whole base in. It's just, the antenna's its nut now. No big deal. We got self-tappers here. We got self-tappers here. I actually had to cut the bottom of the fender off to roll it under just because I don't have an attachment point anymore there because the rockers are so destroyed. As you can see how bad they are. This thing was hammered on in its previous life. Had some fun. This side I was able to reattach with the factory style bolts again, so those are all back in where they need to be. So kind of like everything's good for the most part on this Jeep now. Everything's functional. Everything's driving as it should. Got a little oil leak on the rear diff there, but that's no big deal. Now we can actually start making some improvements maybe. It doesn't ride as bad as I remember it being at first, but we'll still work on this front suspension a little. I have a slip yoke eliminator coming for the rear. I just need to get that on and then measure drive shaft. So that'll make it go down for a little while. But yeah, we're kind of working our way through this thing right now. It's kind of exciting. This thing is beat. There's not a straight body panel or body line on this thing. It is hammered. So there are a few little small pieces. There's some pieces that need to get tossed out. Those are garbage. That's my third brake light. I'll throw that back in once I kind of work on the tailgate a little bit more. I still have to put the whole rear tailgate panel back on and all that stuff. So yeah, we just got a few little things that obviously I'm not going to bore you with, and we'll just kind of keep working through. Look at this mess I made this weekend. Holy crap. All those tools I used to get that thing back together, interior and exterior. Whew. It's been a long one. I'm beat. This is, what, 2 solid days of working on this thing? Actually, this is going on 3rd day now, so I need a break.